Hey everybody, we got the third episode incoming of Big M's Power Hour. I am Big M, along with my ever sturdy foundation, Chuck Strength Hammer Moore.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Yeah, yeah. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a good Christmas, good whatever
Good.
celebrations you have.
Hope you had a good January 6th.
Yeah, yeah. We had a good month of news. So I think we have a lot to go over. We're going to go ahead and change up the format a little bit. Instead of going over like kind of anything that's any of the news articles that was impactful, so we're just going to go over a couple ones that I liked specifically, and then we'll still do the rumor engines because that's one of my favorite things. But this time since we have 24 rumor engines to go through, we're going to do sort of a hybrid of word association plus Rorschach test plus name that Pokemon. We're gonna
It's all Pikachu. It's all Pikachu.
we're gonna have that little Venn diagram dot in the middle, and it should be fun. Then after that, I'm going to discuss some more kind of crunchier topics than what we normally cover on the main show.
Matt is going to complain about Cities of Sigmar.
And it's not. It's an analysis about how Games Workshop may or may not have painted themselves into a corner.
Nah, I disagree. But as always, before we continue, Matt, you did forget the most important thing for if you're tuning in, and if you are, you're a legendary being. Make sure you subscribe, ring the little bell, smash the like button, comment, and share. You need to do all that.
I'm gonna go counterculture, and I'm gonna be like, don't unsubscribe.
Thumbs down it. Unsubscribe.
Thumbs down. I want you to go in the comments, and I want you to be upset and angry and argue. That's what I want. Nothing but hatred. That's it.
Yep, nothing but hate. Oh, hey, our third host is here. My furnace, kicking on now,
hey.
Keeping me warm all through the Frank the Furnace. Is that where?
I'm just gonna go with Fernie. That's
Fernie.
All right, so we're ready to dig into the hot news.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, starting back on December 1st, we had discovered the story of Underworld Dire Chasm. Well, this specific article is always, of course, good and has the video and everything. I mean, I just wanted to talk about Dire Chasm coming out. I'm super excited to whenever I finally get my copy, which was pre-ordered. To be shipped to store, and it still hasn't shipped. We're now on.
I could walk up to my friendly local game store. That's not an official. It's not a Warhammer store, but they sell official GW product. I could go buy it for you, Matt.
Yeah, well, so it's at my Warhammer store also has Dire Chasm. It's just not my order. I ordered a bunch of things, so I figured I would just wait because I got I think 2 sets of the Sylvaneth Warcry box as well. And just a couple other things. So,
before you do continue, I want to say this is a lovely piece of art I have up on the screen right now from this article of the Dire Chasm Mountain. Have you seen?
Yeah,
that's stunning.
Yeah, honestly, one of the things I really like about this one, and even the last,
actually, the ones of color are actually really good, but that gray one is just like, okay, congratulations.
The idea of Beast from that they introduced in Beastgrave with basically being stuck in this mountain that is alive is simply fascinating. I absolutely love it. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I can get you to play Underworlds with me if I beg real nice.
I don't hate Underworlds. It's just a matter of when we do get together, it's like, well, why don't we play AOS? That's our conundrum.
Oh, exactly. I mean, it's if we live next door to each other, I'm sure we would play it once a week. Yeah.
For
sure. Yeah. So I said, that's super exciting. I love the Slaanesh models. I love the Lumineth models. The Sword Master makes me super excited to see what the rest of that unit's going to look like. Um, but yeah, so that's it. Darkchasm, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up on the 10th or 18th, we had one of the comics, The Bribe.
Yep, the Never Chosen
Uh,
comic.
I had to bring this one out just because I absolutely love. Um, I love the mountain's little enthrallment with the miniatures.
Yep. I just love that the mountain doesn't care. Like the
Yeah,
overarching thing, like nature doesn't care about the petty squabbles. He's like, I want this. Oh sure.
oh, exactly. I just love the little word bubble with the heart.
Yep.
I kind of wish that the luminous word bubble was out of there so I could just get a like an icon of the happy mountain.
Oh, we.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure we can work on it.
We can Photoshop that.
All right. So next up, we have our honorees on parade. That was exciting as always. Um, if you want to go into full coverage, obviously they have a whole Twitch stream. The website has you know dozens of pictures. Uh, let's see here. So we'll go over them real quick here. So best of Warhammer 40,000. Third place we had Space Wolves. I'm not even going to try to pronounce anyone's name because I don't want to mess anything up. So go to the website, look to see who they were.
Or watch
so
this on YouTube, where we have
yeah,
it on screen right now.
where you also shouldn't like, favorite, or subscribe or comment. Just keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
So nice Space Wolves, a lot of unique terrain.
Mm-hmm.
It, I really like the color they went with the Space Wolves. I always find that Space Wolves are a very difficult army to pin down their color because they're so fierce and ferocious, and their main color is baby powder blue. But I think he did a really good job of finding a good middle ground of having it. It looks like almost went a little bit of almost like a tiny bit of aqua into some of the
Yep.
darker recesses.
Yep. Good.
Um,
That's a good Doggo display board. 13 out of 10.
Next, in second place, we have an incredible Ultramarines display where I don't think you could get any more miniatures on this board.
Yeah. No, they definitely, like, you immediately know what they were going for with this, and they captured it well. So, yeah.
I mean, there's an image that I think of that this reminds me of that has I think it's Imperial Guard or Imperial Fist. I mean, Imperial Fist, like all lined up like this.
Yeah.
It's absolutely great, and you can see. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see with how many models there are, but they have this amazing marble job put in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's truly great. And then, of course, first place we have Speed Freaks, where they did a whole out. We got a mountain. We have a backdrop.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's perspective. Like they have a DACA jet, like screaming into distance. Like yeah, they went full on this, and it looks so clean for orcs.
Right.
Like
Well, it appropriately.
yes, yeah,
Appropriately.
it's the cleanest dirt I've ever seen painted.
All right. Then on to the important category of best
Yeah.
of Warhammer Age Sigmar. We got third place with Iron Jaws.
Yep.
I love what they did with the portal in the back and having the orcs jumping out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The custom
Maw Crusher.
Maw Crusher. That's I can't even imagine how long this whole thing would have taken to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Stunning work.
Second place. I really like this one.
Yeah.
This is Stormcast Eternal. Once again, we have this great blending of man-made brick along with the natural stone, and they even used the Sigmar ruins, the circle, to make a little gondola. I don't know. It's not really a gondola, but
Actually,
I
real quick, Christopher, he's on Twitter, and he was posting this as it went along. It's fantastic. I think this whole display board spans out to be a full table's worth of terrain.
oh
He
wow.
built it. Like
I was gonna say,
it's modular fully, which that's what I'd like to do with my Dodge Kane one using the terrain I built. but this is like done to perfection, like high quality paint job and everything.
Yeah, this alone would actually make a pretty good work ride board.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and bonus points for actually putting on prosecutors on there. That's a bold move.
Heck yeah. And listen, if you have prosecutors, you're an OG Stormcast. Like I have 9 of them.
So
Jeez.
we should make full prosecutor armies. That's
No,
what we need to
I would rather not. That's a lot of. I don't know if you could physically fit them in your deployment zone because of the wingspan.
do.
Because of how
You
cheap
just have to
they're so cheap
interlock
too.
interlock them. That's all. All right, and on to
First place.
first place. We have Night Haunt. Um,
I won't lie. This is not my favorite, but I'm not a big death person, and the pictures probably aren't doing this justice on the paint scheme. At least the
yeah,
ones I posted.
I'm wondering if there is something that we're missing here because, again, this is better than anything I could do.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
not disparaging you in any way, shape, or form, but it's very monochromatic. It's death in a graveyard.
Like I said, like
Uh,
the graveyard buildings alone are higher quality shading than I've
oh,
ever done on
absolutely,
any model. But yeah,
absolutely. I mean,
it could
like
be
I
a
said, I
taste
mean,
thing. I mean, this is art at the end of the day, so
oh, I mean, if this showed up to Nova, my jaw would be dropped, and it would be getting full paint score. I mean, like I said, I don't mean to disparage it in any way. It just, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if first is. I mean, especially considering that whenever you look at second, where someone had literally made 4 custom mountains and customized terrain, where there's no custom terrain on this at all.
well, I think the issue is not anything to do with the skill level or how this looks and the fact like so much time is put into this board. It goes into the fact that you and I can't see it
Right,
because we're not
right. I'm
trained to
sure if
see
we
it.
could get our hands on it, it would click.
Like
Um,
I can see the shadows and the horses, but like yeah, like
yeah, so that's one of the things. It's like, yeah, the second pop out picture of that horse, you're like, okay, now I can see it.
yeah.
It has almost like an anime style of shading to that comic book style level. And if
Mhm.
every single model's done like that, wow.
Yeah, it's just these pictures aren't picking it up for sure. But
Yeah,
I'm glad that the judges from GW were able to see that level of skill.
yeah,
So
yeah. No, they said
congrats.
I'll never even be up here at the top where it's best mentions or whatever. All right, and then quickly here with the final best of the rest. Um, third place, we have an amazing Blood Bowl scene put together with lighting,
I
and
love that it's light and dark. That's super cool.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would love to do a board with lighting at some point, but I'm afraid of burning down my hobby area.
Oh, it's LEDs. You can do it.
I'll find a way, man. I'll find a way. All right, and number 2, of course, this one will be number 1. It's number 1 in my heart. The Battle of
Because
Helm's
why?
Deep.
Because why?
Battle of Helm's Deep.
Because you should always
Middle
play
Earth.
Middle Earth.
Always play it. If you're not playing it, you're doing it wrong. That's
Yeah.
um, again, we have that's looks to me like a custom wall. I love that they actually. It looks like they used the official Orc Siege team ladders.
Yep.
It's a great explosion effect.
Well,
This
I,
is
I like the little detail. It's kind of like here in the middle, right at the bottom right of the explosion, the red mist of the orc that was nearby.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you even have the ladder falling over. You have the orc actually falling off the ladder there. I
Hmm.
mean, the attention to detail here is just great.
I bet they
Uh,
watched the movie and like I bet these rocks are exactly where they were in the movie.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And then first place, stealing it from my Middle Earth, is the Halfling team. Super creatively put in a little lunchbox.
Yep.
That is very clever. That's yeah.
Hmm.
Again, everyone just knocking it out of the park.
Yep.
Honestly, I knew this was going to be this fierce, and that's why I didn't even try this year.
Oh yeah, this it went from like a local / regional event to the Olympics. Go! So yeah, I
Right.
was not motivated to try. I knew I couldn't hold a candle to anything in here, and the motivation wasn't there to try. So
Yeah. Yeah. So again, like I said, if anyone is upset at anything I said there, just think about it. If the hobo, if you pass a hobo and they tell you you stink, just think about it like that.
right, and this is us asking for $1. Please like and subscribe.
Again, I pissed you off. Put in the comments. That's
Yeah. Newsflash: we're not doing this for money.
all right.
And I've been
So
yeah, I've been scrolling past all the other ones here at the bottom too. So
all right. So bouncing over. I guess we're bouncing back because of the Slanesh came first. But okay, sorry. All right. So we got a look at the new Slanesh models. They're all spot on. I know some people may like some more models and less than others, and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, you cannot say that these are not in the Slanesh style.
oh yeah, like I saw the Blitzbarb archers, and I was just like, yeah, I'm getting a unit of that to add to my army. I'm getting Sigvald. Probably gonna get the Myrmideshes. I forget what they're called. The armored.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's great. I'm interested to see the War Scroll for the archers because Chaos is not outside of Zinj. It's not traditionally that much of a ranged faction. So it'll be interesting to see a unit that dabbles in it.
Yeah, and they also have them on the mounts too. The archer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see them come out. And even though technically, it wasn't announced until 1/1, the centerpiece model is also magnificent. I know everyone that I've talked to is talking about who they're going to put instead of the big fat guy in the middle, but as a big fat guy, I appreciate the representation.
I saw that model, and it was one of those models for me, the Palanquin specifically. I saw it and I'm just like, that is a beautiful, stunning model, and I'm so glad that I have no desire to buy it. Like nothing,
Yeah,
like it's so weird. Like I can't wait to see people put it on the table, like Vince painted up,
absolutely.
and I look forward to playing against it and all that sort of stuff. And I have no desire to add it to my Slanesh army. Like I don't know, it's too busy for me. But like I see the appeal. Like it's
Right.
beautiful.
Well, again, like I said, the busyness I think leads to the excess. The overindulgence. So I think,
Yeah.
like I said, it fits right in.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's a perfect fit. It's just not to my taste, but whatever. I have bad taste, so. But I'm also the one recording, so I get to announce my bad taste online, and people have to listen.
All right, so moving right along here, we have Merry Christmas from the Middle Earth team. Well, Merry Christmas to you guys as well, or Happy Christmas, I guess, as they say on that side of the pond. It looks like they just did a quick rundown of some models that they liked.
Bill,
of course,
the Pony.
Bill the Pony.
Bill the Pony.
If I could get this through the regular website, I would probably have several.
You would have Bill the Pony like I have my Terathi character. You just have multiple versions that you can.
Oh man, if I could have Bill the Pony as my Anvil of Apotheosis character.
Why not? What's stopping you?
Well, because he's Forge World. That's basically the main e-break on that one.
Hey, well, if Nova 2021 happens, and
that's true,
Forge World is there as they often are, you'll be able to just walk on over and buy Bill the Ponies whenever your heart stirs.
That's true.
Buy a Bill.
Hey, you got any more than Bills of the Pony? Bill the Ponies. And they're like, sir, we're gonna have to cut you off. All right, that's. Of course, next was everyone's favorite Warbats.
Oh, I scrolled past them. Never mind.
But again, like we got Aomer, who looks awesome,
yep.
and of course the Treant. So,
yep, good old Treant.
All right. So next up, we have the MetaWatch.
Dun, dun, dun.
You two can MSU. Okay, well, I'll MSU.
And we are not showing the third 40K MetaWatch because it was just an advertisement to use the app. Like,
Don't
I'm
get
sorry.
me started. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, so actually, since I did the month for free, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try out the app. So I went on, grabbed my free month, immediately figured out, and it wasn't easy to do, how to cancel my subscription because I only wanted to try it for a month. It's not easy. I found out how to cancel my subscription quickest for the app, for the 40K app, by a link on Reddit where someone said use this link in your browser, and it takes you, if you're logged into your My Warhammer account, it takes you directly to the unsubscribe page, which is very hidden. Not where you think it's not hidden. It's not where you think it would be at all.
Yeah.
So, first off, make it easy to subscribe and unsubscribe GW. And secondly, I tried the app and I've used Battlescribe for how many years now, and it's free. Obviously, donate and all that sort of stuff. But I will say this: while $5 I think is a hefty price tag for monthly for this app, it is a very, very clean list building app. I do really like it. There's some errors, sure, no errors that like I'm gonna complain about. Like
I
that's
don't
just like,
expect perfections many of it.
yeah, you like that's a hard system to build for you. So like I had some feedback. I submitted it. Super easy, super nice. I think it will be the best list building app. Just two things: make it easy to subscribe, unsubscribe, because maybe some people will only subscribe for a few months out of the year. And secondly, like, consider not doing $5 a month. Like, come on.
I mean,
like
it should be like
the,
adult.
the AOS ones is what, $1.50, $2? Like, okay, sure, but like, I don't know why 5 is a sticking point for me, but like, make it $2. If you make it $2, I'll subscribe and I'll probably forget about it, and you can have that money for the rest of, as long as my credit card's active, I guess. But
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly like, that's just under half of like a Final Fantasy 14 subscription. Like, I'm not going to use an app that list builds as much as I'm going to play an MMO or watch Netflix or something along those lines. It's
yeah, I will list build, but like, and I'm okay too, like, with the fact that I know people are just like, oh, you're paying to have rules go away. It's like, I think GW should make the 40K rules free, like they do for Age of Sigmar, the basic rules. But that's a different subject. I don't mind that as new books come out that you lose access to, because like it's the old stuff in there anyway. I don't care about the old stuff. Like I really just care about my armies, and I'm gonna buy the books for my armies, and I'll get them in the app. So really, I'm not complaining about that. Just please consider making it cheaper and make it easy to subscribe and unsubscribe.
yeah.
Anyway, Age of Sigmar meta watch.
Yes, all about the multiple small units, which is definitely a term I have not heard since the Stormcast were first released. I don't know. Like, I agree with everything they say in the article, but I don't know if I agree with their overall premise, because there are very few units that are like the eels. Like if I took 3 units of, the Lumineth Dawn Riders, that's not going to play out the same. That's not going to be as helpful. It might be able to help me hold a unit in place long enough while I get other units up there, even though I'm not supposed to be charging with anything in the current lineup. So like I said, MSU it, try it.
Yeah, I mean, these guys do know what they're talking about, so like there's merit to what they're saying. I don't run MSU anyway, so I can't speak on the matter.
You don't run eels, so
I have 6 eels, and I put them all as one unit because that's how I built them to fit that way. So, but I'm also not swinging top tables like these guys. So
yeah.
But I appreciate the diagrams in here too, like of how this is
absolutely
working. Yeah. So.
Yeah, like I said, for IDK, this is you could almost put some Bible chapter and verse marks in there, and you'll be good to go. I just don't know how applicable it is to other armies. I can't think of anything that is as effective as the eels are.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so then now we have the old world. We have a small, tiny off the coast update.
Yay! Actually, I was kind of excited for this update because it showed High Elves, which was my old fantasy army and my old fantasy love. So, like, I knew Uthwan probably wasn't going to be a big thing, so it kept focusing on literally just the old world of the old world.
Well, is that Uthwan right there, right off, like in the Gulf, south of all the.
Oh, I was looking at the video. If you look like on the farthest western of the map, I don't know. That might be just a random tile too. Like they're gonna adjust the old map for sure. Like they'll retcon some things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. I'm just happy to see that High Elves will be a thing because I'll probably play High Elves in this game. Granted, I'll probably play this game as often as I play Underworlds, or Blood Bowl or Middle Earth. I'll have an army.
This is probably gonna be like a Nova at midnight sort of thing.
Yeah, you and I will play it like once in a while, but hey, we have no idea what's even gonna be. So
I'm interested to see what armies are available. Like I said, we know the first thing they showed off was the Ice Ladies. I don't remember their name.
The Kislev. You will respect Kislev, sir, because your first Age of Sigmar event, if I recall, you and Alex and maybe a few others, but it was an event that I ran based upon a Forge World event that involved the Ice Queens. Now, it wasn't Kislev, but it was pretty much Kislev set in Age of Sigmar. So you will respect Kislev, because that's your roots in Age of Sigmar, sir. That was your first event.
Yeah, so there we go. So I'm interested to see, because I thought they were really badass looking. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing in 2021. I think that article, I just closed it, but I think that article said that they're going to actually start talking about some nuts and bolts in 2021.
Yeah, I hope so, because like I'm of so many different minds of this. Like I know some people are just like, oh, don't bring it back. Who cares? I'm like, just okay, whatever. It's fun. It's a game. Like it's not gonna take over Age of Sigmar. That's for sure.
Right. But well, especially because it's Forge World. I mean, it's
I'm just mostly curious. Is it going to be 28mm scale or not? Because like I could see them saying, let's not make a 28mm scale so people can't use their old fantasy armies and they buy Forge World. But if they make it 28mm scale / heroic scale, whatever you want to call it, then I will probably buy models to use in Age of Sigmar as like conversions and stuff. So it's like, I'm curious what they're gonna do, and whatever they do is fine. I don't care. I'll have a small army for it either way because I like the setting. So
yeah. Well, listen, we'll see. I imagine having an episode about the possibilities of the old world is high on the list. So probably in the next month or so.
Right now, are you sure that you want to do that? Because it's going to turn into me just telling you all about the lore to the point that you are done with this show.
Well, again, at that point, I'll just turn off my sound and I'll just talk. That's fine.
Okay. Next article.
All right, so here we are. We're wrapping up, getting close to the end here. One last teaser from the Middle Earth team. At the bottom, they show the silhouettes, which I imagine can only be Haradrim.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. It's like,
whenever
like it's Lord of the Rings, like, and you're basing this all on the movie, the new Line Cinema stuff. You can't show me a silhouette, and I'm like, I immediately know what this is. Like, what are you doing? Just show me the model.
It's cool, man. Again, like I'm super excited whenever any model gets updated because, like, I always, whenever I first got into the game, I just basically focused on Rangers back when they weren't very good, but it's what I liked, so that's what I stuck with. And then I always liked fiefdoms, but I was like, I don't really know too much about them. And then whenever Forge World came out with the new models of the knights, the Swan Knights on foot, which is hilarious because you're not supposed to really take them on foot. They're just some of the most gorgeous models I've ever seen, let alone for Lord of the Rings. So now I have a full Fiefdoms army. So,
Yep. And I got my Rivendell army ready to go.
all right. So controversial article number 2 this episode: model of the year. So we had some honorable mentions. I don't know who voted for this or what state of toxicity they were.
You're not going to complain about Ragnar, are you?
No, Ragnar's fine.
Ragnar's fine. He deserves to be up there. Beautiful paint job, beautiful sculpt. Love him.
Again, love this blue. This is really nice blue.
Yeah, I think it was very much. I was there in Latham. It's fantastic. Like, holy crap.
Then somehow Teclis made it on the list.
Yeah. He's.
Our boy out.
He was a very divisive model.
I mean,
like I had some issues with him for sure. If you listen to the previous podcasts, however, he was very easy for me to adjust to my liking. Like I repositioned the arms, and honestly, even out without repositioning the arms, the one thing that I did, if you check out my Teclis or my Teclis conversion on Strength Hammer _ over on Twitter or Instagram, shameless plug. I just lowered him from above the wing to kind of like below the wing, like Selenor's kind of like protecting him with the wing, and everyone was just like that alone is so much better. Like there's which I'll say this, like this model is a great model, you just have to do some work on Teclis, reposition him, right. Maybe change a pose or like a little bit, but not a lot. And yeah, like immediately was like, I love this model so much more.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, and again, like I said, I don't want to harp on it too much because we've already done that before, but like to be in the best mention of whenever you have sculpting issues, you have composition issues, there's flow design problems, like it's really hard to like legitimately say that this should even be mentioned outside of the fact that it's just a big impressive looking model that draws the eye.
Yeah, let's put this in perspective too. This is one of the and I'm going to say it's mostly just composition. Like I actually was able to paint his face in a way I liked. I even gave him like a little battle scar, which was kind of fun. So like I'm not even going to take like paint's fine, sculpting's fine, just composition. Literally, like in my mind, if you move Teclis on this model, it immediately improves it. So like, and I say that to the point that like, yes, it's an impressive model, and also we have slight issues with this model for GW. This is still better than 90% of every other company's out there. So.
Yes, yeah, this is all. Well, this is best of GW. So this is
right.
And then of course we have
Silent King.
The Silent King. I mean, I'm shocked that it didn't actually make the list. Yeah, I know you said it was too busy, but you know we know how you feel about busy models.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a personal preference. The Mega Gargant.
Mega Gargant, I think that's a perfect. That's perfect for an honorable mention. It's a great sculpt, but it's not exactly like breathtaking.
It's the farmer mean. It's not much, but it's honest work.
Right. That's perfect. That's exactly right.
It is exactly what I want him to be. So perfect.
Okay, and then we have the Triumph of St. Catherine.
Which
again, I like this model. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. It's not third.
I will contest that. The only thing I don't like about this model is the base, because they're like on a raised dais and like that sheer cliff, like on the side. I don't like that, but like I said, and that's a small gripe. I like this model a lot. I think it's probably because I was born and raised Catholic that like I see Sisters of Battle, I'm just like, yeah, I got some sort of weird like nostalgia like thing in the brain for that. So like I like it. I'm perfectly happy with this being third place.
Okay, none finished. We got it. All right.
Okay, moving on. Hey, look at number 2, guys.
So what I wanted to touch on based on this one was like, if you look at its parts, there's literally 6 Sisters of Battle in robes.
There's 7. I'm sorry, St. Catherine is there. Will you? God.
And then there's St. Catherine in the middle, and you have 5 cherubs above. Like, if you look at the individual parts, there's nothing that is standout. There's, it's again, it's one of those ones that it draws the eye, and it's a fine model. There's nothing wrong with it, but third, little much.
The one issue I think I have with this model was actually on the rules, because I think you have to play the Order of the Bloody Heart or Sacred Heart. I forget what it is, but like this army only works, or this model only works in like one subfaction of the army. I think I could be very wrong, but like I was like,
if that's true, that's a poor choice.
I think so. I mean, lore wise, I get it, but like game wise, I'm like, oh come on.
Yeah. All right, so we have the Void Dragon. Yeah, it's hard to argue that this isn't a second place model.
I would have put this up for even a very close to first place too. Like the use of negative space on it. It's beautiful. Like I look forward to seeing people convert this into Celestin Primes. Just everything, yeah.
And then number 1, we have Gazgul.
I love the trolling on this by Games Workshop. The model is not Gazgul, Thraka, and Makari. It's Makari and Gazgul, Thraka.
I appreciate their humor with it.
Yeah,
but I mean,
he's the most badass orc I've ever seen.
Yeah,
he's not my model. Literally
the greatest orc model ever released.
Yes.
With that being said, it's it's good. I would maybe put it in third.
It's like the Mega Gargant for me. It does exactly what Thraka needed.
Yeah.
Thraka, I guess Gazgul's the more appropriate term. It does exactly what I think it's needed for that, but it's not. It wouldn't be my first place. But then my first place would probably be something Daughters of Cain, and people just roll their eyes anyway. So.
I guess what Daughters of Cain got the new hero this year, right?
Well, actually, we had the Shadowstalkers, the new hero, the Iron Scale Malus side, but I voted for the Underworld's Warband.
Okay.
Because they were just the most, like, Witch Elves are good, but like those are what they could do to Witch Elves now for a full unit. I'm like, yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, I voted Eltharion.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, if we're truthful, Eltharion probably he should have been third.
I would say let's move Gazgul down to third, then we can move Void Dragon up to first, and Eltharion fits nicely in the second. Just out of the sheer level of
but
engineering.
Well, I mean, the problem is there's a bajillion 40k people, and there's not a bajillion AOS people. And that's been proven to me since the year Morathi came out, and Morathi lost to the If you're listening at home right now with young kids, please mute for the next few seconds or skip ahead a little bit.
Taking a bed, no.
Yeah. Morathi lost to the fucking limited edition Noise Marine, which was they put a beautiful paint job on it. I don't give a shit about that model. That it's a Noise Marine. It's a Marine with a guitar. Fuck off. That's not a good looking model. That's a standard basic bitch model. All right, and Morathi lost to it. Come on, 40k people, get your heads out of your own ass, because that should not have won.
Right. Yeah, maybe we would need a weighted vote.
No, I think they need to separate top Age of Sigmar, top 40k, and then maybe like the specialist games, kind of like what they did with Armies on Parade.
Yeah, I think it should be the same category. Yeah. And even if they want to have like just best overall, sure.
Nah, it'd still be a 40k thing. That's stupid.
Stop
it. Get some help.
All right. So that was it for the news. So now we have our machine gun predictions here.
Yep.
So I'm going to go so fast, I'm not going to give you time to speak.
And
so
are you going to put these on? Are you going to share the screen?
What we can do here. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen right here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go as fast as humanly possible. And then whenever I'm done, you get to say how well you think I did.
Okay. All right.
So let's get this here. Finding the right window.
Let's see if this works because we're guessing on this.
All right. Do we think it's working?
I can see it. It's small here. We're gonna. If you're watching this on YouTube, well, I'm sorry. You're gonna see some weird stuff happening here with OBS. Okay, go, Matt. This looks weird,
right.
but just go.
All right, here we go. All right. Female Imperial Knight. Like a Cities of Sigmar researcher. Chaos Seraphon.
We already know that one.
Oh yeah, we do know that
Yeah,
one.
that's Palanquin. We actually already know that one too.
New Space Wolves. New Sisters of Battle. A giant boot. We're gonna go with. That could be a lot. Something destruction, maybe. No, I don't know, because that's. I'm gonna go with. Vampires. Vampires. That's gonna be a new orc dirt bike. Vampires. Inquisitor. Steampunk dwarves. Gonna go with a warrior priest. The witch elf or the witch hunter we saw. Vampires. It's gonna be Skatari. That's gonna be witch hunter or inquisitor. That could be a whole show right there. I'm gonna go witch hunter just because I want it to be. Night haunt. Vampire. 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 Wood elves. Done.
Boom. Look at that.
Look at that. How was that? That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Now I gotta fix the cameras again. Don't look at how the sausage is made, kids. Slowly getting there.
So what do you think? 24 out of 24?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're good. Golden man.
Yeah. All right, and then let's see. So on to the main topic of the evening, the designs, the design flaws that no one's talking about with the Cities of Sigmar. And now what am I talking about that? Because again, the Battle Tome is great. It's a great use of old models. It's good to be able to, take stuff that we had and put it on the table. But the issue that it boils down to is the fact that where do we go from here? Because
I'll counterpoint this. I know exactly where we go from here.
I'm sure you do.
No, not in that way.
Okay. Well, I mean, yes, we're going to add new cities. We're going to add, all the different cities and all the different realms and everything. But at the same time, I'm looking at it more from kind of a little bit of a longer term perspective, because we now have a new army that's using models that are 15 years old.
At least.
This is not. In all honesty, I could be way off base here, but I feel like the Cities of Sigmar is kind of like everyone's consolation prize. I don't know anyone. I personally don't. I know there are people who wanted a reason to play their old Empire armies and their old Dark Elf armies and the old Dispossessed, but at the same time, I knew people that wanted new Dispossessed, new Dark Elves, new humans, more.
Right.
And so your options are.
I didn't want all my High Elves cut.
No, and again, like I said,
That was painful rebasing all those just for nothing.
yeah, I mean that's rough, and like, and I feel like there is an easy solution, and I also feel like it adds another problem because whenever I, whenever eventually 2030, 2040, the GW decides to release a new human army,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't want updated Griff Knights. I don't want updated Pistoliers. I want Age of Sigmar humans, and I want to know what that looks like. And I would like them to deviate from how the Empire was run, because they're not the Empire anymore.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, all the artwork's influence. It still has the Empire feel, but just turned up a little bit. Like the cover of it is good. That's what I think basic humans should look like.
well, I mean, as far as that goes, I'm of two minds of it, because I feel like they did that art because they knew they weren't doing new models. I can't imagine a world that has been around for millennia and fashion hasn't changed. Technology hasn't moved forward or backwards. We still have the same flintlock, black powdered, single use pistols that we had prior to a world collapsing.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, imagine the world collapsing is going to reset things a little bit.
right. I feel like, I mean,
Well, I think I can explain that away in my head with the following: the fact that
right.
the gods exist. So an interesting thing about Age of Sigmar is even if people don't like gods, there's not a single person in the mortal realms that's an atheist. They're like, yes, gods exist. I just don't like them.
Yeah.
That's the
He's
worst
right
case.
there. He's,
Yeah, he's right there. Right
he's
there.
yelling at that
He's
small kid.
he's right there, being a prick. Um, but the thing is, these gods, I think it's pretty obvious in the story. They're all very attached to the world they had, probably to a fault. Which is why I think that they probably showed them the level of knowledge they understood, for the most part, and didn't really adjust it. And then if these things are like passed down from gods and like revered like these like sacred versions, people wouldn't change quickly either. So that's how I kind of explain away. Like
I mean,
Valerio comes down and is just like, "You're wood elves. You always use bows. You do this," and they're like, "Yes, ma'am." They're
well,
not
again,
gonna be
the
like,
spectacles,
I'll use a
like,
pistol."
I mean, like, I mean, I've been playing D&D for 20 years. I can come up with a narrative reason for just about anything, but at the same time, it's, it is the least creative and original solution for the problem.
It's trying to think. This it is a solution to the problem of all the old models. So
Right.
otherwise, you would have had to cut so much.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
at the time, for when this book was coming out, and like rumors were happening, and then actually dropped. Cutting all the high elves was hard for a lot of people because that like
Yeah.
you cut everything but like 2-3 kits or whatever it was, which are the Phoenicium now. If you cut more than that, you would have like literally like there's people there. Like the Ninth Age was still trying to do its thing, and they weren't like nothing. They weren't nobodies. Like Ninth Age was doing something, but their community was built off hate of what GW did, so it wasn't going to last. But regardless, this was GW going, you can use your models, come play,
Right.
here's your rules. You can also mix, so you can actually bring in more stuff now. Maybe it's not the best rules wise, but like at the time it was released, it was exactly what was needed to finally like mellow out the very angry Ninth Age people. Most of them, anyway. There's always going to be people that just hate because they like hate, but whatever.
Yeah.
I do agree that there's a bit of a problem now because I want to see new sculpts, and
Right.
you can't make. I guess you could, but like it takes so many resources to redo all of it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the issues that I see is like, I look at it and I'm like, are you going, they, they've now established Age of Sigmar as a battle tome, and it's a popular battle tome. And so the issue that we come across is the simple fact that, like, we have to do something with it eventually. We can't just keep using. Well, I mean, I guess they technically can't just keep using the same model. Poor 40k orcs and Imperial Guard. But like, at a certain point, you're going to look around and go, look at all of these other amazing sculpts, and I'm using something that still looks like it was, put in the oven for too long. And like I said, so
compared to today, like back when these came out,
right,
like they were stunning models.
Oh, absolutely. So, they were absolutely top of their game whenever they came out. But again, I mean, even if you look back at the original Warrior Chamber of Stormcast compared to the Sacrosanct,
oh yeah,
you go, wow, that's a difference, and that was 4 years, 3 years,
yeah, something like that. Well,
so
here's how I think that they could course correct and do like very specific looking versions of the army. So obviously you need to make. I would say the first thing to do is they make new humans. All the human models, AOSify them, and turn them into such a way that you can, like, it comes with enough extra bits, you can theme them to a realm. You can theme them to any city. Because humans in this setting are very much everywhere. Like, that, just like a D&D setting, humans are just, we're everywhere. That's what we do. So, like, you have your pistoliers, your great swords, or, all that sort of stuff. And there's little insignias for each of the city in the kit, so you have lots of extra options. And then, what you do then, instead of releasing Cities of Sigmar over time, you then start releasing Living City, and you focus on redoing some of the Wood Elves. Now the humans, which you've already redone, can just use the Living City insignia and port into that easily. But it's primarily a Wood Elf type city, and or I forget what they're called exactly.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, and then they do is Hallowheart the dwarf one? I forget. But like essentially you just do that. Like you just,
and that would be very interesting. And what's funny is, like, I think that one thing that I would really like to see GW do that they kind of shy away from is, and like for Space Marines, how they have like the upgrade sprues for like, make them more like Space Wolves, or make them more Dark Angels without being the Dark Angel kid or anything like that.
Yeah.
If you had like the Hallowheart upgrade sprue.
Yeah, I think the thing is too, it's like,
and then that way you could release generic humans, and then if you wanted to theme them to a city, you could also buy the upgrade sprue, because we know that they've been kind of shying away from.
Yeah, they start getting away from the upgrade sprues because they were doing it for Stormcast for a while, but the problem was I think they timed it wrong. Like, by the time I saw those sprues coming out, I had my army well built, and it was just like,
right,
I'm not changing this, and as cool as those upgrade sprues are, and we can get to the Stormcast, but like there's I don't know, like,
yeah,
like I think they timed it wrong, but like I agree with you. Like, upgrade sprues for all the cities, and that fit maybe across all of the new stuff. Sure, that'd be another way to do it.
Yeah. Now, personally, I think what would have been a better option would be to. The problem is you would have had a lot of people grumbling, groaning, because they want their armies. They want the armies that they're using. But at the same time, like, you already had a unit from each one of the armies, having a ranged attack, or having a, being a little bit of an anvil, or having a two-handed weapon.
If you want the best anvil, you're going to take Phoenix Guard and an Anointed. You're not going to take Iron Breakers.
Right. And so, like, it makes those other units superfluous. So, like, if you look at Iron Drakes, and now again, range is a little different. I'll admit range is very different, but like,
and this is all assuming you're not doing a theme army. You're doing just a competitive army.
Right. But yeah, like, you look at Iron Drakes, you're like, okay, I can get along with the 18-inch shooting. I do like the double tap, but if I put a Rune Lord in there, they get the increased rend. So I'm just going to go with that and forget everybody else. But again, like I said, range isn't the best example, because there is some variety there. But a part of me would have preferred to have just seen them do like the heavy arm unit, or like the cavalry unit, and basically what it is you determine what models you wanted to use for it, and it kind of gives you, like, in this unit you can use, and then gives you a list of the different units that would fit inside.
Yeah.
And so then that way you would actually have a Cities of Sigmar where you have these cities integrating, as opposed to this odd segregation of like, no, dwarves go in that block, humans go in that block.
Yeah, I thought for a long time like by now we would have seen people do like mixed race, like
Yeah,
blocks. So like you had here's 30 great swords. Okay, like people using maybe old swordmaster models since they're useless.
right.
You have a Longbeard in here, or like a chaos, or like a dwarf warrior, like, and you just mix it together.
Hammer.
Yeah, and just like you look at that unit, like, oh, they have the two-handed weapons, so I know what they are. I thought we'd see that too, but
And I think that would look a lot cooler. And on top of that, it's also easier to upgrade, because now you can put out a kit that just has, it's like a 20 model kit like the old Chaos Berserkers, and it's just 5 of each race. 5 humans, 5 dwarves, 5 high elves, 5 dark elves, or even 5 wood elves, or whatever you want to do.
yeah.
And so then that way you have a unit, you can upgrade the models as you see fit. You don't have to upgrade as many models. And on top of that, you don't have a battle tome that's thick enough that you could kill someone with it.
Yeah, actually, so I'm not sure I mentioned this on the last show, but I'm looking to do a mixed Dwarden themed army this year. So I have the Fireslayer battle tome, and I have the Cities of Sigmar battle tome beneath of it. I still got to pick up the KO one. There is a big difference between that Fireslayer book and that Cities of Sigmar book, and it's about like 3 pounds. I mean, it's not, but it's what it feels like.
But again, like so going that route, you still can use your high elf army.
Oh yeah, I actually almost did that. My Cities of Sigmar army was almost my old high elves. Like sword masters were great swords, and I was using all human, I guess, war scrolls.
Yeah.
Again, I just chose not to do that for whatever reason. But
yeah, and again, I can hear people fighting back like, no, I want to use, if I'm going to be playing my humans, I want to be playing humans. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at, like, just pull up the war scrolls for the different anvil units, it's basically the exact same thing with one tweak here, one tweak there, one additional rule here. They're very similar.
Yeah.
You're really not having too much of a difference anyways. I mean, again, like Alex uses those damn handgunners.
Oh yeah.
So just go with that war scroll, because that's probably the best one.
Man.
And yeah, like I said, I mean, it's just a. I feel like whenever it was released, it did come off as a little bit of a, here, use your old models, shut up about it.
Well, like I said, context of the times, it came out perfectly when it needed to.
Narratively, it fit perfectly.
Well, no, I meant like in real world time. To finally put like the final nail in the coffin for Ninth Age, and for the community wanting it as large. It was released at the exact right time for all of that. Like, but I will agree with you at the point that now they have more work ahead of them to improve upon that army and give us the AOSification of it. And I don't know. I don't. That's a hard thing to plan, but I look forward to it whenever it does happen.
Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah, and so like, so that's kind of my thoughts on it. That's kind of the meat and potatoes of it. Right. So
actually, let's real quick. The best part about that book is the way it's written. Is the fact that in all these narrative and story supplements we're getting, here's a city, here's a city, and like, it's such a subtle tweak. Now, I'm obviously playing hardcore on because I can bring my Dodge Cane into it. I am kind of sad that I can't use all the city stuff. Like, because it's like I'm curious what they're going to do in the future when they decide to redo the battle tomes, and it's okay, we have all these extra cities out here. Do you put them all into the book? Do you not put them all in the book? Is there going to be more cities that will change hands over the course of the story in the next 5-10 years? Like Anvilgard, can it be in the new book? I don't know. It's gone.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, like, we don't know what's going to happen to that. We don't know if it's going to be resituated. We don't know if they're going to take it back. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, like I said, I mean, and again, I know I've criticized the book, but if I had a choice of either whether having the book or not having the book, I definitely would prefer to have it.
Absolutely.
Uh, like I said, it's and again, like I said, coming from, with all honesty, coming from me, there is a lot of disappointment in the book because again, I've been waiting since the General's Handbook 1 came out to be a dispossessed player again, and that book showed almost no love to the dispossessed. But again, like I said, I mean, I was also looking forward to seeing, because like one thing that I've said that like since Age of Sigmar came about, one of the most common sense units for the dispossessed to have is the Dwarf Rangers.
Yeah.
And again, those are incredibly outdated models. I absolutely understand why they got rid of them, but having them looped into Cities of Sigmar meant you are never seeing those Rangers. You are never seeing the miners again. And that was one of the things that I was looking most forward to,
Right.
was seeing what does an Age of Sigmar miner look like. Because again, that's a very, like now, that's an extremely Age of Sigmar unit.
Right.
And I would have loved to have seen what they would have done with it. Same thing with the Rangers. And so, like, I know it's not necessarily the fact, but it does feel like we gave you this so you don't get that.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say they wouldn't do that stuff, or there might not be a third new like race where it's essentially the Depossessed turned into Age of Sigmar versions. Like,
Right.
because
Right.
we have Lumineth, they're the new High Elves. We have Daughters of Cain, they're currently the new Dark Elves. I'm sure Malarian and Tyrion will come out and add to those, in their own respective ways as their own armies. But like I want Kurnothi. I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see Wood Elves turn to AOS and then have their deer legs. I want to see that really badly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it
yeah.
can be,
I mean, again,
and it can be a separate army from Sylvaneth. It can be its own thing. It can just ally with Sylvaneth. That's fine with me.
and I totally, I totally remember, and I totally keep in mind that GW is, while gigantic for a miniatures company, is small in the grand scheme of things.
Unless
They can
unless it's
only
being
produce.
unless its stock levels as high as Tesla, then they're
But again, they can only make so much new stuff at a time.
right. And I want them to keep making it in the UK like they have been, and expanding their warehouse, because if you all remember the original terrain for Age of Sigmar that was cast in China, it was shit. So please keep casting where you're casting, GW.
Yeah. Or if you'll bring it over here to America, that's good too.
We got plenty of space. We got plenty of space to put in more of those spinny injection molded thingies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if they spin anymore. I have no idea how it works. I've never.
Well, so that's as far as I understand, the resin is the force injection, spinny. You said spinny. Now I can't remember that. Centrifugal.
Spinny it is.
the centrifuge,
Yeah.
force injection.
I'm sure Pewter was the same way with that too. So
Actually, I believe, again, I'm stepping so far out of my lane here. So if I'm wrong, you better tell me.
Comment.
So I want to know.
Yep.
And if you think about it real hard when you hit like, which you're not supposed to do, but if you think, I'll know.
Yeah.
I'll know that.
Actually,
that was the like.
Let's
that
go.
told me I was wrong.
Let's go beyond. If we're wrong on anything, go over to AOS Coach's channel or Warhammer Weekly's channel and comment on theirs.
Yeah,
their
you tell
videos
them.
about how we're wrong.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go. We're next leveling this shit. You know what? Watch out.
Starting a border war. That's. But yeah, all right. So then, so let's go ahead and wrap it up here with. So I think what you said about doing individual books and using that as an opportunity to upgrade the models, I think that's the best.
That's
course of action.
That's the dream. That's the dream that we probably won't get.
What do you think will be the next thing to happen?
That Cities of Sigmar will remain kind of in the background for a long time. It'll keep getting new cities throughout books, but that they'll focus on newer models and new armies and then stuff like Slaanesh and all that sort of stuff. I think it's going to stay where it's at for quite a long time.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, my prediction is I think we're going to keep seeing some slight rules changes or additions in Broken Realms.
Mm-hmm.
Then, whenever the inevitable third edition comes out, I think we'll get an updated Battle Tome at some point. I wouldn't even be surprised if it shares a weekend with another Battle Tome release.
Yeah,
But I don't think there's going to be any new models. And I think it's just going to be some new cities, some updated rules.
Maybe some new heroes or something. But like, I don't know if they're going to invest
I mean,
heavily.
that would be. It would be hard to see them again. So what I want to say is, I can't imagine them putting one nice looking hero amongst everything else, but they've done that in the past. So,
like I said, it's we'll see. I mean, we want to see an update. I think we're kind of staying on the erring on the side of caution that a range update for the army. It would be very hard to do just for the sheer volume. So like I can't emphasize that enough. That would be really hard to do, but we want it.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I honestly think that they're just going to try and eventually quietly just stop supporting it. Because again, like I said, they're going to come out the book, so they're going to keep it up to date. They're going to keep the rules going. That's not going to Legends. But I think when everything starts getting their second Battle Tome in third edition, I don't see Cities of Sigmar getting one there. And then fourth edition coming out, and then them eventually being like one of the last ones to get their Battle Tome.
Or they slowly just cut more and more of the army.
Right. Because they're not going to want to make, I mean, because now going into fourth edition, we're talking about what, 6 to 8 years from now. They're not going to want to continue. Now these models are getting to the point where they're going to be able to drink, and we're going to have digital models. They're going to be holograms,
and you still need to paint them.
Yeah.
Here's the alternate time. It's not the darkest timeline. Here's just another timeline we could go down. Because Forge World just continued Chaos Dwarves, or it looks like it. They stopped selling them, which fine, whatever. If you cared about that army, sorry. But like,
sorry for your loss.
I hope you had your fun with it, because cool army. I wouldn't mind seeing that redone, but maybe Cities of Sigmar becomes a new Forge World pet project.
Oh, so that brings me back to the idea that I was thinking of. Is
that's the nicest way of you being like, that's stupid, Chuck. Here's a better one.
No. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with you. And so like, it was an idea that came to me when we were talking about the old world, that this might be an option for them to release new models without having to update the Cities of Sigmar stuff on their side.
Oh yeah, if it's the same scale, then for sure you'll see people take old world models that are going to be like better versions of the old fantasy models and bring them out, and no matter the cost. Like if it's a lot more money, if like you're paying the same price for 5 guys as you would for 10 guys, people will still do that army. Like, don't get me wrong.
I mean, listen, every time there's been a Middle Earth event that's like Nova or anything like that, someone always brings a Smaug, and that model's $400. So
yeah. Exactly.
But all right, so like I said, if you agree with us, go ahead.
Or if you have your own ideas, let us know.
Yeah, as I said, let us know if you absolutely love the way that Cities of Sigmar works right now, and you think I'm completely wrong. Love to hear about it.
Unless your name is Alex, who constantly beats me. You don't get an opinion on your army that you play, because you beat us too much with it.
That's dumb. But if you're going to tell me that I'm wrong and you like the way the book is now, you are required, absolutely required, to tell me where you think the army is going. And if you say everyone's getting a new model, You're also wrong.
That's not how it works.
Yeah. But yeah. So, any final words?
No, just hope everyone, hope your 2021 is gonna turn out better than 2020. I hope the first 7 days now that have happened are the worst of it. But yeah, yeah, let's keep rocking, and excited to get regular content out to everybody.
Yep, yep, definitely. So, all right, everyone. Well, thank you very much for listening. If you made it this far, and as always, go out and play Middle Earth.
Yep, play Middle Earth.